Allen keys. 7/64 is the size for the hub, and that is a very odd size. This is a genuine craftsman. Imagine the tool it takes to stamp the name, and it's perfectly square on the tool. Some little machine, probably chopped up and shipped to China. I took the hubs apart yesterday. This is special. Don't lose it. I've got tons of Allen keys and not very many 7/64. Took the hubs apart yesterday, or took them apart last week, and these are the quarter turn warrens. Usually it's 300 degrees, you spin the knob almost all the way around to lock the hub. These are the quarter turn ones that were on the Blazer when I bought it, maybe? I don't remember. Anyhow, behind the hub lock, which is held on with those little Allen screws, Allen headed screws, is this big spring, right? Well, I don't have a good memory for taking things apart. I just take it apart and wing it. So behind this locking piece, there's another spring half the size of this, and I put that on, and this is not held in with much. Sometimes this locking thing, which could just pop out and end up on the sand in a second, sometimes there's a little screw that holds that in from dumping on the ground. I'll show you that in a second. Actually, I'll show it to you now, because I can't get that hub back on because that spring is impossible to compress. There's too much spring for too little place, and it can't go the other way because the splines aren't cut all the way through. I am confused. Here's some parts I picked up at various flea markets. Here's the exact same ones. And there's no spring behind this because it wouldn't be loose. And there's no room for a spring. Where did that spring come from? There's supposed to be a spring here or on the inside. Let me take this apart. Got some mile markers here that came on a Suburban that I junked. Total crap, made in China. Look good, but they're total junk. The insides blew up. Total junk, made in China crap. Lifetime warranty. Yeah, a lot of good that does. Got various bits and pieces here. These must be the mount. There's that screw I was telling you about. That screw stops the guts from flying out when you want to do it. And I have another set here of one worn hub. I got some that I got in the junkyard in Indio, California. Let me take this apart. Give me a sec. I'm gonna turn the camera around, take this apart. It's nice and sunny, and I'm capturing a little bit of sunlight that I'm gonna get. My shop faces the south, but there's a big apartment building that we own, and it blocks the sun. As soon as the clock hits noon, I end up in the shade. So it's a bitch. Keep dropping these screws. It's cold. It's still below freezing. With this antique system we use of Fahrenheit, where 32 is freezing, it was 22 last night, which is probably -8 Celsius, I'm guessing. A friend of mine that watches my videos in Iceland said he had an eagle. I don't think it was a camback like the one I saw in the junkyard. That junkyard got flooded. Water came down those mountains, and same thing, the one in 29 Palms washed right down the road and right through the fence. Yeah, no spring behind here, just some rust. Oh, there's a spring. There's a spring behind the cover, the knob. That's what happens. It just pushes the, what would you call that? A pusher. It pushes the pusher when you go from lock to unlock. I'll show you what that does inside the hub assembly. This is the locking hub. The axle's here, and the axle could turn just like that. Or the hub turns and the axle stays still. When you turn that button, it just engages this thing here. Just like that. That's all it does. And it locks the axle splines to the wheel hub splines, or the rotor. That's all it's doing. It's pushing on that plate right there. So there's a spring under that on the Blazer, and that big spring was here, and there's no way it's going inside there. Let me get that hub, get some grease on my camera. What's worse, grease or sand? It's like if you're a mechanic, what's worse, grease or if you're a carpenter? Sawdust. I got a spring. That's going to fly out and end up on the sandy ground. It's just cocked in there. I don't know where this spring goes. Don't know where that spring was there. I just removed the hub and that spring was there, but there's no way. No way. I've tried it. There's no way that spring can go here. Too much spring, too little place. I don't know. Yeah, these hubs are the same, these locking knobs. Same thing. Same thing. There's a spring under the knob, so if I get rid of the spring, but where'd that spring come from? It was in there when I took it apart, and I think it was. I just took it apart. Some people remember, I don't have a good memory. It can't go down any further because there are stops on the steps. After this, I gotta go fix my snowblower. My neighbor gave me an 8 horsepower, 28-inch Tecumseh, and the pull starter is rusting and fell apart. So a brand new one's 30 bucks on eBay, probably made in China. 30 bucks including shipping, or there's a video on how to replace the rope. Rope's probably 5 bucks. I also need a rope for my John Deere mower. The rope shredded after 98, 2008, 15 years. What stops this from coming out? Huh. There's a ring on the back. Maybe I forgot to put the ring on the back. Yeah, I think I forgot that. That's not going to change that big spring under the cover. Where'd that spring come from? I think I forgot to put that little C-clip. So where did it go? Huh. Need a pair of pliers. Bing! Junk. I'm listening to On Point Radio with Jessica Yellen, and they are discussing the Little House series that became Little House on the Prairie many years later. Give me a minute here to play with this. We've got to put the camera here on the log with the lug nut folded up. Can you see what I'm doing there? Hang on. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful sunny day. Yep. Mrs. CW is going to come around the corner any minute. We had our hair done this morning. I got my hair cut and my beard shaved. That's held in place with that C-clip. Should be a clip in the back holding this, but there wasn't. C-clip there. Oh. This is a good thing. I forget. I take things apart. I'm not good at taking things apart and putting them back together. Yeah, there's a clip holding that on. Locked, unlocked. Locked, unlocked. And it turns, the axle stays stationary, and then if you lock this by turning the knob, get some sand in it, knob pushes it in uniformly. And the axle turns. Now you're in four-wheel drive if you lock up the transfer case. Or if you don't, you end up turning everything right to the transfer case. I guess I'll just put it together without that big spring. If I have to, I can always put it on after. Because I don't know where that spring came from. And I know someone's watched the video saying, "Dummy, that spring goes." Well, where does it go? That's a monster spring. Can't put it on the other way because there's a stop built into it. It has to go into the hub that way, like that. Zoop. Too much. Bang, 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 bang. Slinky, Slinky, it's fun for you and me. Remember that Slinky toy? Imagine that, just a simple spring going down the stairs could entertain you. Alright, I'll put this crap on. My hands are frozen again.